You're listening to Neurodivergent Mom Life, unfiltered and unstoppable, where we embrace the chaos, celebrate neurodiversity, and empower moms like you to thrive in motherhood. Today's episode is all about one of the most important conversations we have as neurodivergent moms: communicating with our daughters. We'll explore the unique challenges and beautiful opportunities that come with these mother daughter talks. Whether you're navigating tough topics or just trying to connect, this episode offers practical tips to help you strengthen that bond. Let's get into it. In this episode, we're going to talk about navigating the neurodiverse mother daughter talk. So, did the mere mention of the word laundry trigger a seismic tantrum that could rival a kraken's wrath? Did your heartfelt pep talk, crafted with the wisdom of Yoda and the wit of Gandalf, land with the impact of a deflated balloon? If you're nodding along, muttering, "Been there, done that, and got the emotional scars to prove it," then welcome to the roller coaster ride of parenting a neurodivergent tween or teen. It's a wild world where a seemingly simple conversation about chores can spiral into a full-blown meltdown faster than you can say executive dysfunction. But here's the thing. It might not just be the typical teenage drama. Maybe, just maybe, it's something more. Maybe it's not just hormones and angst, but a clash of neurodivergent wiring. So just think about it. You both see the world through a unique lens. You both process emotions differently. You both have your own quirky ways of communicating. So when those wires get crossed, it can feel like a scene out of Star Wars. Two different species trying to have a conversation using a broken translator. But don't despair. Recognizing that neurodiversity plays a role in these miscommunications is the first step towards finding a solution. It's like discovering a hidden passage in the minds of Moria. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Okay, so we've established that you and your team might both be marching to the beat of your own neurodivergent drummer. Here's where things get really interesting. Those drum beats can sound vastly different. Imagine a mom who thrives on clear instructions and direct communication like a well-organized spreadsheet. She's got a list for everything from chores to grocery shopping, and she expects her daughter to follow these instructions to the letter. Now, picture a daughter who thrives on creative problem-solving and open-ended questions, like a choose-your-own-adventure book. She wants to explore different paths, find her own solutions, and maybe even rewrite the rules a little bit. See the potential for conflict? It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's just not going to work. The mom might interpret her daughter's need for autonomy as defiance, while the daughter might feel stifled by her mom's rigid expectations. The mom's direct communication might feel harsh or critical to the daughter, while the daughter's creative approach might seem disorganized or chaotic to the mom. And let's be honest. Trying to mirror each other's communication styles can be exhausting. It's like trying to speak Elvish to a hobbit. It's just not your native tongue. You can learn a few phrases here and there, but it's never going to feel natural. This can lead to a whole lot of frustration, misunderstandings, and even hurt feelings. It's like those tense moments in Lord of the Rings when Gimli and Legolas just can't see eye to eye, even though we know they're secretly besties. Okay. So let's not get lost in those minds of Moria, though. It's time to dust off our communication compasses and find our way back to each other. Here are some tried and true strategies for bridging the communication gap between neurodivergent minds. Number 1, speak your truth with I statements. Instead of saying, "You always interrupt me," try, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted. Could you please wait until I'm finished speaking?" This helps to focus on your own feelings rather than accusing the other person. Tip number 2, practice active listening even when you're zoning out. Make eye contact when possible. Nod your head and repeat back what you've heard to show that you're engaged. This helps to build trust and understanding even if you need to take a break to process information. Tip number 3, get visual. Sometimes words aren't enough. Use charts, diagrams, or even doodles to explain your thoughts and feelings. Visual aids can be incredibly helpful for both neurodivergent moms and teens. Tip number 4, write it down. If face-to-face conversations feel overwhelming, try writing a letter or an email. This gives you both time to process information and respond thoughtfully. Tip number 5, speak your needs even when it feels awkward. Don't be afraid to tell your daughter that you need quiet time after work to recharge, or let your mom know that you need a heads up before starting chores. Open communication is key to building a strong and supportive relationship. Tip number 6, use tools and tech. There are so many resources available to help with communication. Try out apps like MoodPath to track your emotions or Cozy to share calendars and schedules. You can even create a family code word for when things are getting overwhelming. Tip number 7, find your shared language. Just like the Fellowship of the Ring had to learn to speak Elvish and Dwarvish, you and your daughter need to find a way to communicate that works for both of you. Maybe it's through art, music, or even a shared love of Star Wars. Tip number 8, embrace the chaos with a dash of humor. Remember, neurodivergent brains are wired for creativity and innovation. Embrace the quirks, laugh at the misunderstandings, and celebrate the unique way you and your daughter see the world. By using these tools and tips, you can navigate the communication maze together and emerge on the other side with a stronger, deeper connection. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to learn, grow, and adapt. So grab your trusty lembas bread, gather your fellow hobbits, and embark on the communication quest together. The rewards will be worth it. Now, let's ditch the shame and embrace the awesome. Yes, our different brains can lead to some epic communication misfires, but let's be honest, it also makes us a pretty kick-ass team. So just think about it. Mom's hyperfocus might lead her down a rabbit hole of research on communication strategies. Hello, endless articles and online forums. Meanwhile, the daughter's outside-of-the-box thinking might spark a brilliant new idea for expressing her needs through interpretive dance or comic stripping. Instead of viewing these differences as obstacles, let's celebrate them as our superpowers. Mom's detail-oriented mind might be perfectly suited for creating visual schedules, while her daughter's creative spirit might infuse those schedules with a touch of whimsy and fun. Remember, communication just isn't about words, it's about connection. It's about finding ways to understand and appreciate each other's unique perspectives, even when they seem as different as hobbits and elves. So let's ditch the one-size-fits-all approach to communication and build a custom-made bridge between our brains. Let's embrace our shared weirdness, celebrate our differences, and create a language of love and understanding that only a mother and daughter can truly speak. After all, who needs normal when you can have extraordinary? As Gandalf might say, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend my time celebrating our neurodivergent awesomeness than trying to fit into a neurotypical mold. So the grand adventure of raising neurodivergent teens, communication can be the most challenging quest. But remember, you're not alone. We're a fellowship of neurodivergent families, each with our own unique stories and struggles. Just like Frodo and Sam, we rely on each other's strengths, find humor in the unexpected, and never give up hope. Yes, there are going to be miscommunications and meltdowns. There will be times when you feel like you're speaking different languages, or that you're lost in a dark forest with no map. But there will also be moments of pure magic when you and your daughter connect on a level that transcends words. You'll see the world through her eyes, discover hidden talent, and forge a bond that is truly unbreakable. So embrace the chaos, celebrate the quirks, and never stop learning. With a little bit of patience, a whole lot of love, and a dash of humor, you and your neurodivergent teen can write your own epic saga of understanding, connection, and shared adventures. After all, as Bilbo Baggins so wisely said, it's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. But with the right tools and the right companions by your side, there's no telling that incredible place you might discover together. Hey, are you loving this podcast? Your feedback means the world to me. If you're finding value in the episode, please take a moment to leave a review. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Neurodivergent Mom Life podcast. Every week, we're diving into the realities of raising neurodivergent kids while embracing our own unique paths. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and join our community of unstoppable moms.